What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the Clippers and Nuggets in this first round playoff series because I think this is going to be a banger for a lot of reasons on both teams. I'm going to give a prediction of who I think is going to win this series at the end of the video. But what I want to do is kind of break down and evaluate how this series is likely to go, at least in my opinion. So I want to know in the comments, who do you got? How many games? What are you kind of expecting from this series? We're going to start with the Nuggets because they are the hometown team. They have home court advantage. So they're going to have a little bit of a boost there. Obviously, when you start with the Nuggets, you start with Nikola Jokic, who is very well, could be the MVP this year. Definitely has a gripe for it no matter what. He's probably the best player in the world at this point. So you've got that in your back pocket, which anytime you walk into a playoff series with the best player, you're already a leg up. I think you're getting Jamal Murray back. I think that's going to be very, very important in terms of just helping Jokic and getting that other scorer back. And we know Jamal likes to turn up in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see that duo healthy and playing in a playoff series again. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think those two pack a punch. I think Aaron Gordon's been playing awesome. I think Christian Braun's been playing awesome. I really like what those guys have done. And Gordon is having a really good year, but Braun has elevated himself into another level this season, which has been really cool to see. Really damn good player, awesome in transition. So I think that's one of the ways that they can kind of break out in this a little bit is with him defensively and in transition. Christian Braun can kind of turn the game a little bit in their favor. After that, with the Nuggets is where it gets a little sketchy because there's a lot of unprovenness and risk. And we'll start with the risk, and that's Russell Westbrook. We know that Russ can make plays and he can be a huge impact, but he can also be a detriment. It's gone both ways this season. It's gone that way for every single team he's ever played for. He could be really good. It could be really bad. It's an ultimate wild card, and if I'm the Nuggets, I don't know how much leeway I'm giving that particularly. I think a guy like Jalen Pickett probably, if they want to be safer about it, is probably the guy to go to. I'm a big Peyton Watson guy. I think that he is potentially a really good player. He just hasn't put everything together. I think he could be decent in this series. I think even guys like Strother could be valuable. But outside of that, the Nuggets are very top heavy in this, to where I think I didn't even talk about Michael Porter Jr. He's really one of the better floor spacers in the league, but any given game it can be one way or the other. So I think with those four guys being the core of what it was last year, essentially, to where you have Jokic, Jamal, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr., and then you have Christian Braun. It's really five guys, actually. That's kind of what they're rocking with in this, that you mostly trust, right? On the flip side, the Clippers, who have been, and we're keeping this just completely straightforward here, they've been the best team in the league, basically, for the past month and a half. Past month and a half, 2 months, essentially, they've been the number one defense and the number one offense. That's a good enough sample size for me to say this team is probably pretty damn legit. So that's just talking about the team as a overall. I think when it comes down to Kawhi Leonard is playing his best basketball of the last several years, they're getting that from him. He looks like he's locked in robotic again. James Harden has been fantastic, and he's one of the better basketball engines that can run a franchise, to where he just keeps you afloat. And we know he's one of the top 5 or 6 creators in the entire league. So you have that paired with Kawhi, who's just on a laser beam right now. I think that 1-2 punch is super, super formidable. And then I think their third option being Zubac, who I get flack because I like to just say his name is Zubac because it's just easier for me, but Zubac, because my list is going to get crazy with it. He very well could be the most improved player this year, could be defensive player of the year. He's the best drop coverage big in basketball right now. And of all the bigs to give Jokic problems, he's number one on that list. Not Rudy Gobert, not Anthony Davis, not Bam Adebayo. Those guys do not give Jokic the problems that Zoo does. Now, Jokic is still going to get his, and he's still going to be amazing. But Zoo does deserve credit for the job he's done on him. And I really like what we've seen out of Norman Powell this year. He's been freaking awesome. More opportunity, and he's definitely taking advantage of it. He can go for 25, 30 any given game. So that's going to be something to pay attention to, is how does he match up as that X factor. could very much so be that guy. I think like Derrick Jones Jr., we know what he's going to provide. He's going to provide elite defense. He's probably going to be somebody that get, with Chris Dunn, they get stuck on Jamal Murray. Chris Dunn's another guy that is a really, really damn good defender, and it's going to cause problems just on that end of the floor, and is going to create some transition and some fast breaks for them. So I like, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr. I think those guys provide value. I think Bogey Bogdanovic is good enough to give you 12 to 13 a night in a playoff series. I think that's something he could do, spacing the floor. He looks a little bit more comfortable the last 3 weeks or so, I would say, in terms of fitting in with the team since he got traded there. And then you have like an old vet like Nick Batum, who just does vet things, doesn't make mistakes, knocks down the corner three, makes the right read and short roll, does all the little smart things. I think with that bunch right there, that gives the Clippers an excellent chance of beating anybody in the entire league. That might be drastic, but that's truly what I think. If they're all playing like they've been playing, they're legit. That's how that goes. And I think the one thing that really sways me in this series is the coaching. We know what Ty Lue is going to do. We know Ty Lue is going to be really good in game, and he's going to be really good game to game, especially in a playoff series. One of the most consistent, just good to great coaches the league's had the last decade. So you have that, right? That's all leading in the Clippers' favor. I just think with the Nuggets not having, a coach that's been a head coach for more than a couple weeks. I know David Adelman is doing this on the fly, and it's not to flack him. He's got a lot of experience as an assistant. But I think anytime a team fires their coach at the very end of the season in the way that they did, it's a red flag, and it's probably the writing on the wall for me to where I don't think the Nuggets get out of this series. I think the Clippers win this in 6. At worst, I think the Clippers win it in 7. That's my personal opinion. It's not to shit on the Nuggets. It's not trashing any of their players. Did not do that at all. I just think the Clippers have done so much, so well, and they're the team that's on the come up right now, and the Nuggets have all this kind of turbulence that they've been kind of having to go through. Finally, somewhat getting healthy. They're not a bet I'm willing to make, and I know Jokic can get you at least 1 or 2 games. That's why I do this, but this is a team game. At the end of the day, if Jokic goes for a 60-point triple-double, they've lost when that happens. So I think the Clippers are the safer pick. I think they're playing the probably best basketball in the league right now. And that's why I'm going to go with them. That's why I got them in 6. I want to know if you agree with that. If you disagree with that, let me know in the comments. Like I said, this is going to be an awesome series. The Nuggets could very well win this series. Jokic could go nuclear as he normally does. That could all happen, and I could look dumb at the end of this. But ultimately, I think you could flip a coin in a lot of ways. I just think the bet that I'm most confident in is Clippers in 6, at worst, and 7. That's my pick. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video.